Hey, welcome in everyone. In this video, I am going to create the circular spacer using Autocad. And again, we're gonna use polar coordinates, absolute coordinates, relative coordinates. We're not gonna use any of the fancy stuff because we haven't got to that in this book yet. So we're gonna try to do this the old-fashioned way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up to my templates. I'm going to find the one I created earlier, my start template. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with my circles using the origin as the center point for the main circles there. So I'm going to go up to circle diameter, and then for the center point, I'm going to type in 0, 0. And then let me pan over to put this somewhere in the middle of my screen. For the diameter, I'm going to start with the outside one and kind of work my way in. So the diameter for the outside circle is 7. Type in 7 here. Boom. Zoom in a little bit. And then I'm just going to do the same thing of circle diameter. My center point is 0, 0. The next one is going to be 5. And then I'm going to keep doing this. Circle diameter, center point is 0, 0. That one is a diameter of 2.75. And then that last one there, in the grand scheme of things, circle diameter, start at 0, 0. It has a diameter of 2. And then you'll notice that this circle here, it needs to have a have a center line type, but we'll get to that in just a minute. What I want to do is I'm going to create the two angled lines so I'll know where to put my smaller circle. So I'm going to go to start my line tool. I can either type in L for line or go up to the line tool here in the ribbon. And it says specify first point. So that first point of that line is going to be at 0, 0. And the next point, I'm going to use the polar coordinates. So if I know the diameter of that outside circle is 7, and then half of that is what, 3.5. So I'm going to make the length of this line 4, just so it extends past the outer circle. So I'm going to type in 4. I'm going to use the polar symbol there, and then it's going to be 30 degrees. So there's that. And then for the other circle, the other line that's going on the opposite way, I'm going to go up to line. Here it says specify first point. That's going to be 0, 0. And then this one is going to be 4, polar symbol thingy, and then that's going to be 150 for that angle there to go the other way. So what I want to do next is I want to make a brand new layer because some of these have different line types. So I'm going to go up to layer properties. I'm going to create a new layer. I'm just going to call this one center line or center. It's not really a line because one of them's circle, but I'm going to change the color to, let's say, green. For the line type, the only line type that I have right now is continuous, solid line. So I don't want this to be a solid line. So I'm going to go where you see load, and I'm going to scroll down to the center. So I'm not sure which one of these is going to be. So I'm just going to hold Control down and select all 3 of these center options here. And I'm going to hit OK. Actually, I know which one I want to use, but if I didn't, then I would say I don't know which one. I'll just pick them all just to make it easier. So then now we have different line types that we can use. So I'm going to choose the center 2 option, and then I'm going to click on OK. So now the line type for that center layer is center 2. And for the line weight, let's say I'm going to make this, I don't know, 0.2 millimeters. I'm not going to worry about making that the current layer because I've already have those lines already drawn. So I'm just going to close out of this box here. So how do I put these lines that I want on the new layer? So I'm going to just left click on the lines that I want to kind of change their layers. So there's 1, 2, 3. So those 3, if you go up here in the layers box up here, in the layers panel, I'm going to click on where you see object, and I'm going to select my center line, center layer. And then so that just moves those objects onto our new layer that we created. So then what I can do is I'm going to create those little smaller circles. So before I do that, what I could do also is if I go up to annotate and click on my center mark, click this outer circle here. Now that really helps a lot because what I can do here, I can go to home, circle, center diameter. So now I know where the centers of these are going to be. So let's start the bottom one. This bottom circle is going to be, the start is going to be where these two lines intersect. I'm going to drag it out. That has a diameter of 1. And then I'm just going to do the same thing for the other 2. So center diameter. If you don't see the X pop up, then go down to your object snaps here and just make sure you have your intersection checked. So I'm just going to select this intersection. That's going to have a diameter of 1. I'm going to go up to circle, diameter. My intersection here is where that center line is, or center of my circle is going to be. It has a diameter of 1. And that is our circular spacer. So there's many ways to do that, but that's one method. As we learn more tools and commands, there'll be easier ways to do that. But for now, that will suffice completely. We're not going to put the dimensions on there because we haven't gotten there yet in the book. So make sure you save it, and we'll move on to the angle base and the index key in the next lessons, and we'll be done with this first chapter here in AutoCAD. So hope to see y'all back. All right, peace out.